Top on the brief this morning is the assessment and verdict by the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, describing the labor movement as the most patriotic organization in the country, promising that the workers won't compromise its patriotism no matter the challenges it faces. Mr. Ajaero hinted on their resolve while addressing a crowd of labor members who gathered at the NLC headquarters to welcome him after honoring an invitation by the police, maintaining that the union is worth dying for. Recall that last week, the NLC president was invited by the police following an ongoing investigation into allegations of terrorism financing, treasonable felony, subversion and cybercrime, in which Ajaero's name was mentioned. But his lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, who accompanied him to that police station, told the force to reschedule to Thursday due to conflict of schedule with prior engagement.
We have gone there and we are back. I just want to confirm to you that as a citizen, I've gone there and we are back here. But what is important is the circumstances, that took you to that place. Or whatever is the case, we're out to continue the struggle.
Let's now talk politics. The governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has asked the police, the people of the state, I should say, to give their votes to the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Ajaero, in order to take the state to another level of revenue generation and infrastructure development. Mr. Obaseki made the appeal during the party's official campaign flag off at Ajaero Township Stadium in Esan Southeast local government area of Edo State, where he says the candidate will do even better than him. On their part, Mr. Ajaero and his running mate also unveiled their plan for the state. We're not done with the Edo State. The opposition, All Progressives Congress, has asked the Nigerian police to be proactive by ensuring individuals or groups bearing arms in the name of protecting the state must cease to do so before the September the 21st polls in the state. The former governor of Edo State and senator representing Edo North, Comrade Adams Oshomole, made their call when the APC campaign took its train to Ikpobaha communities as part of their campaigns yesterday. And same with the elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has fixed September the 12th for the signing of a peace accord by candidates and political parties participating in the election. The chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, announced it at a meeting with chairmen and secretaries of the political parties in Abuja. The electoral body also informed the political parties that it will conduct a mock voter accreditation and voting exercise in 6 local government areas on September the 10th. To determine the efficacy of the bimodal voter accreditation system known as BVAS.
The signing of the peace accord for the Edo State governorship election will take place on Thursday, 12 September 2024 in Benin City. A number of other activities have been scheduled. On Tuesday, 10th September 2024, the Commission will conduct a mock accreditation of voters to determine the deployment of the BVAS for the election, as well as the upload of results to the INEC result viewing portal, the Ajaero.
Moving on now, the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare says it is disappointed over the decision by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NAD, to embark on a 7-day warning strike, disregarding all negotiations and plea attempts to resolve its concerns and ensure continued industrial harmony. In a statement signed by the Assistant Director, Information and Public Relations, Mr. Ado Bako, the federal government has revoked the no work, no pay for the number of days the strike was observed in line with extant labor laws. Mr. Bako noted that the measure is not intended to undermine the legitimate concerns of medical professionals, but to ensure that essential healthcare services are not unduly disrupted to the detriment of the public. He said over the past month, the ministry, in collaboration with relevant security agencies, including the Office of the National Security Advisor, have been working tirelessly to ensure the immediate and safe rescue of Dr. Ganiat Pupula, and high-level discussions and coordinated efforts are currently underway. And let's bring you some cherry news as the federal government has approved a 50% electricity subsidy for public hospitals across the country. That announcement came from the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, during a visit to the National Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Banawa, Kaduna State. The minister was in Kaduna to commission the electronic health records and alternative power supply at the Lawa Jafara Isa Emergency Complex, and the solarization project at the dialysis unit says the gesture aims to reduce the running costs for public hospitals and reduce the impact of out-of-pocket spendings on patients. And away from labor matters, President Bola Tinubu has left Abuja for Beijing, China on an official visit to the Asian country. The president is expected to have a brief layover in the United Arab Emirates. In a statement by a spokesperson, Ajaero Galali, while in China, the president will meet with President Xi Jinping and hold meetings with Chinese business leaders on the sidelines of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation. Is accompanied on this particular trip by senior government officials to that Asian country. And to other stories, senior advocate of Nigeria, Afam Osigwe, has promised to run an all-inclusive bar that keeps the association not only united, but moves the bar forward as he takes his oath of office and inaugurated as the 32nd president of the Nigerian Bar Association. Osigwe will lead the association alongside other newly sworn-in national officers of the bar for the next 2 years, taking over from immediate past president of the association, senior advocate of Nigeria, Yakubu Mikio. In his inaugural speech delivered at the swearing-in ceremony in Lagos, Mr. Osigwe commended his opponent, Tobina Erojikwe, and senior advocate of Nigeria, Chukwuka Ikwazon, for their decorum during the electioneering process and extended a hand of fellowship to them to join him in moving the association forward.
We elected into office at a time when our nation, Nigeria, stands at a very critical moment in its history and evolution. We face a multitude of challenges ranging from issues of administration of justice and the rule of law to socio-economic problems. As legal practitioners, we occupy a unique position in society, one that enables us to effect positive changes in society and uphold the principles of justice, equity, and fairness. We must ensure that the law serves all Nigerians, irrespective of their background, status, or affiliation. Under my watch, NBA shall hold governments at all levels accountable, including and especially the federal and state governments. We work towards ensuring that government policies and programs meet the yearnings and aspirations of our people as they relate to the provisions of good governance, transparency in financial expenditure, reducing drastically the cost of governance, and ensuring that the welfare of our people is given topmost priority. We will strive to ensure that government responds appropriately to the challenges of security of lives and property, respect for the fundamental rights and freedoms, the provision of gainful employment, and all the basic amenities of life, especially food, shelter, clothing, qualitative and affordable education, healthcare, and other infrastructure.
Let's talk business. The federal government has established a committee to examine concerns raised by industrial stakeholders over the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission's NUPRC's recent regulation on domestic crude oil supply obligations, particularly Section 109 of the PIA. The committee, headed by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Nicholas Ella, follows a meeting between the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Mr. Heineke Lekmobri, and representatives of the Oil Producers Trade Section Ops and Independent Petroleum Producers Group, that's IPPG. Mr. Lekmobri says the goal is to ensure seamless crude oil supply to domestic refining, boosting Nigeria's energy security and economic growth. And outside our shows, our attention is on Japan, where the government has issued its highest level of alert. So more than 5 million people after the country was hit by one of its strongest typhoons in decades. At least 4 people have so far been killed and more than 90 injured after Typhoon Shanshan made landfall in the country's southwest. Hundreds of thousands of people have been left without power. The level 5 order issued in parts of the southern island of Kyushu told residents to take immediate life-saving action by moving to safer location or seeking shelter in higher places in their homes. In sports, Nigeria's female basketball team, the Tigers, have been placed 8th in the world in the latest FIBA rankings. The list released on Thursday by the World Basketball Governing Body, the 6-time Afro-Basket champions jumped 4 spots to become one of the top 10 teams globally. With its 8th position in the latest ranking, the Tigers become the first African team either men or women, to break into the top 10 of FIBA World Rankings. So big congratulations to the Tigress, and we're super excited. They broke records. This one, and of course, at the Olympics. But those are the stories we've been tracking for you in the last 24 hours.